Yesterday, actually not yesterday, but last weekend, we really had an incredibly powerful and transformative weekend, the people that attended it. And it always wonder, when I used to travel around the world and teach, to Europe, I mean, all over the place. I always thought, how would I get all these people together? And now, with Zoom, people here from all over. But after a weekend like last weekend, I wonder again, how do I get all these people together? It was so strong and deep and powerful. And I know people live in Jerusalem, Israel, and, all over Europe and all over the United States. And it's not an easy commute. But I'm going to have a retreat every 2 months. There's one coming up in August for my birthday. It's basically, I think according to what I heard, there's space for one more person, to come. I'm doing these things in my apartment here, and I don't have the space to put 20, 30 some odd people. But, if you want to come, there is room for another person. You should get in touch with myself or Jennifer. And, does anyone have a question they would like to ask? There's I talk about it a lot, but it's I think very important. There's one thing I've learned in doing this meditation, and that is how precious time is, how sacred time is, and how we waste it. We're literally karmically allotted a certain period of time to be here, to do inner work, to learn how to transform ourselves so that we can have a spiritual life, we can free the soul from rounds of karma. And yet people take this precious thing called time absolutely for granted, and I think this is something that everybody has to reevaluate. We're born, we have a certain amount of time here, we die, and if we don't fulfill our karmic needs, and basically, what does that amount to? We don't really learn how to live here like happy people full of love and compassion. And, we keep coming back and we keep doing this thing over and over and over again until we finally learn how to make time precious, time sacred, to use it, in a way where we develop a spiritual life and we really free ourselves. The soul comes to the earth in order to free itself of a karmic burden, whatever it happens to be, and is given many opportunities in a lifetime to do this. Whether they take advantage of it or not, or they listen to that incredible internal voice that is telling them, act on this, do something, or they just keep putting it off. Say, okay, well, I got, everybody thinks that they have endless time and it's everyone else that comes and goes, but they have endless time, and it's not true. And what we have and what's given to us must be used consciously. So much of it is just wasted. And at the end of the day, how closer do we get to our spiritual growth? And this doesn't mean we go live in ashrams and temples and monasteries, but wherever we live, we make sure that we take care of that part of our commitment, which is to grow spiritually. I'm personally not a big fan of ashrams. I think it's places where people go to hide out from life. And, I learned many years ago that my greatest teacher is life, and I'm not going to hide out from it. I'm going to get stronger in the midst of life to be able to recognize that the ultimate temple is life. The most sacred thing I have is life. And I'm going to use that sacred energy, time, space, whatever it is, to develop and continue to develop my spiritual life. Living in the temple, life. Not having to sequester myself in so-called spiritual places. And I'm not saying this from, I have had experience. Man, I ran an ashram for almost 10 years in Texas. And I saw so many people come and hiding out and living there because they were afraid to live in the world. Instead of using the situation to get strong enough, because the real test of any ashram or monastery are the people that leave. What are they like when they leave? Have they built a system that has transformed life into a sacred place? Or are they running away from another situation? Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, I will
Yes,
try to talk in English. I hope you can understand me.
I have before, Flora, and I will now. Go ahead.
You know, these days I'm very glad I have to travel to Montenegro. And my question is, when we are very glad and happy, I couldn't go in my side in inside of me. You know, when I meditate now, it was very difficult to go and find place that I have to work with. What is that? I
Well,
have feeling that it's not good to be very happy.
I don't understand the question. What is the question?
Um,
Are
uh,
you in Montenegro now?
yes, I have to. I will go about 15 days.
Sounds
Um,
great.
yes, and I'm very, very happy, like a child.
Good.
And this is don't let me go inside of me to work with myself. For example, now I couldn't meditate like I did before. Like I don't have contact with myself like before because I'm so glad.
Yeah, but you have, look, you can do what I teach in these classes literally anywhere in the world. You have training, you have a place that you can come to continue that training and develop yourself. Take advantage of it. I mean, you can do it in Montenegro. I mean, Wi-Fi. My God, they probably have Wi-Fi in the Arctic Ocean. You know,
Yes.
Wi-Fi everywhere. You know,
Yeah, it's not my question. My question is when we are very happy, I feel that I lost contact with myself. Is it
well,
true?
maybe Flora, you've gained contact with yourself.
What
You've
is
lost contact with that part of you that's depressed, that's unhappy, and there's a whole other part of you that needs to come forward. And maybe that's what's coming. That
okay?
part of you that can be happy,
Okay.
that can
Yeah.
accept the fact that you can be a happy person. No, this is not easy to accept.
Okay.
You know, we live with depression, we live with unhappiness. That we accept because it's so common that we try to fight our way out of it. Once we get out of it, it's hard to accept. I can be a happy person. I
o-
can I can have joy in my heart.
Okay.
Have joy in your heart, dear. Don't put yourself down and beat yourself up because there's joy in your heart.
Okay.
Enjoy the joy, you know?
Yes. Yes. I
Come
didn't. I
on. I remember Flora when you first came here. My God, huh? And look at you. You're like you're 8 years old, you know? You look like a little flower.
Thank
There's joy, there's love. Don't put it down. Be grateful for it and let it take you even deeper into yourself.
Okay.
All
It's
right?
rich. It's
Try
very
that.
rich.
What?
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
You think.
I mean, look, I remember Stuart the day he met Rudy. And I wouldn't go back to that situation if you gave me $2 billion in cash. I wouldn't return to the way I was when I first met Rudy. You know, that inspires me to continue to work. Now I can laugh and have fun and I enjoy my life. And I don't do as much as I used to do in terms of traveling and whatever, but it's full of joy and love. And for every one of you, for people that come into my life, for the salesperson in the store I go into, the waitress had dinner in a very nice restaurant last night, and the waitress we really, from Venezuela, we talked, it was fun. It was Pat Fay and Jennifer and myself, and we had a very nice time. And I must say the food was great. Very good. I remember I used to go, Rudy was a Chinese food freak. He loved Chinese food. He wouldn't be happy until he ate in every restaurant in Chinatown in New York. And I remember we went into one Chinese restaurant and we used to go, and he wasn't content about being in that restaurant until he had every dish on the menu. And he laughed and we had fun and the help laughed and the people there laughed. And it was, it's the way life should be. Never put yourself down because your heart is open. And just use it to go even deeper in yourself.
Okay, but how to do that? Maybe I have to take this feeling and to breathe.
Well, you have these classes, Flora. They've taken you this far. I'm sure they can take you a lot further.
Okay, it's something very new now for me because I experience often now when I am out, when I see babies or old
Oh,
people.
yeah. Well, I have the same thing. I see a baby and I light up.
Yeah.
Play with it. I giggle with it. I make faces at it.
Yeah.
Sometimes see children like that in the elevator with their parent, and I just, and it's such a joy,
Right.
There's such sweetness and love, and they're so spontaneous.
Yeah.
And most people are not terribly spontaneous. And little children, toddlers, they're so spontaneous. You look at them and you smile and their faces light up. So enjoy your life, Laura. I don't want to hear any more about it. Just have fun, enjoy
Yes,
your life.
I will. Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, there will be meditation on Thursday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Again, there is space open if somebody wants to come to the retreat. So let me know. And be great to have you. Great to have anybody that wants to spend a weekend like we spent last weekend. God bless. It's unbelievable. So thank you. You all are my teacher. You all bring joy to my heart, and I will not ever take that for granted. So bless you all, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on Thursday.
Bless you too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Stuart.